probably the right balance of enthusiasm, energy, blind self-belief, and that's not arrogance. And I always think it's a fascinating mix, a fascinating blend in all good entrepreneurs of an undying self-belief, and it's a conviction. It's not an arrogance. It's just a core belief that you know that eventually you will win, that you will be successful, with your venture. But that's coupled with, in equal measure, an astonishing insecurity. And I think it's the combination of that self-belief and an insecurity that just makes sure that you never give up, and that, right in the heart of it, there is a conviction that you will be successful. So I think it's hard to do it without those two things. I think it's probably, and I wouldn't have said this 10 years ago, recruitment. There was a period in the rapid growth part of ByBox, which was between sort of 2005 to 2010, where we grew at something like 16,000% compound growth over 5 years. And during that period, we started to recruit what we thought were more professional people. We thought we had to grow up as a company, and it was a big mistake. And I think that we were fortunate to kind of come through the other side of that. But I think there's a brilliant quote that the first 20 people you recruit into your company will set your cultural DNA forever. And I think that's so true. So making sure that early on you lay down the right fabric of the company, and the people you recruit absolutely mirror your value set, your principles, and in time, as you get bigger, and luckily, as we went through that rapid growth period, the culture spat out the wrong people. So it becomes self-policing, and people know, in our case, people know what it means to be ByBox. They understand that kind of hardcore and proud, never let your mates down, those kind of cultural pillars that are core to us. So I think to be successful, particularly to be successful and grow, you have to get the recruitment right. And quite frankly, unless you're solving Alzheimer's or the world, water crisis, if you're doing something that is fundamentally a fairly normal business, you make things and you sell them to customers, the thing that will determine your success is the attitude of the people. That's what's fundamentally going to dictate whether you're going to win or lose. So not losing sight of that for me is core to growing. I think it comes back to, in terms of tips and advice to would-be entrepreneurs, it comes back to my very first point, that just make sure you are solving a problem. Don't get lost in the romance of something that might be interesting. Don't live in, or don't be guilty of what is often called optimism bias. Apparently, us entrepreneurs are very guilty of having optimism bias. Try very, very hard to seek out people who will tell you honestly the truth. And funnily enough, but when we launched in Silicon Valley initially, and it was just before the NASDAQ crash, just before in February 1999, February 2000. And initially I thought it was quite a brutal place to be. It was quite blunt, it was quite hard, and we failed so quickly. And at the time, of course, it's difficult. We almost ran out of money and all the usual sort of cycles that startup ventures go through. But I realised when I came back to the UK, one of the problems with British people is if you ask them, how's it going? Or what do you think of this? They'll say, it's fine, I think it's a good idea. What you really need to know is the truth. So trying to search out people that will be honest with you. Try and connect to your market as fast as you can and work out and listen. Don't try and force your will onto the market. If you can get to the place quickly where you can learn, is your idea really going to work? Is it going to work? Is it predicated on other things that aren't there yet? Just really trying to understand that, because the chances are you will fail first. The first iteration of your idea won't work, and that doesn't matter. It's just trying to iterate quickly enough before you run out of money. So for me, a great tip would be go to where your market's hot enough, the hottest. Go to where it's really happening. Find out whether it's really going to work quickly, and don't be blind to it. Don't worry, because the fact that it fails first time isn't a problem. Do it quickly, learn the lessons, and then move on.